What's up, everybody? James Duggan here with IGN Access, joined by Brian Altano.
Hi, what's up?
And we are talking about PlayStation, specifically the conference. We put out a tweet, and you responded, and I'm going to choose Nanobit because what PlayStation conference conversation is complete without an official date for The Last Guardian? Do you think we'll see it this year?
It has to happen. If not, it's going to become the second longest running joke in video game history behind Duke Nukem Forever.
Right.
It just can't. If they say 2016 at the end of the conference or 2017, like I might just get up and leave. I might walk out of the building. It's just ridiculous. It's not fair at this point. This is one of the big sort of crown jewels in their first party crown. I don't know what that means, but it'll be out there. I think for sure they'll say, this is when you can get it, and these are the pre-order options, and I think they'll even do a special edition with a giant bird dog statue, because I really want that thing.
That's beautiful. And the problem with this is it's only exacerbated every time we see new footage, because it just looks so awesome.
Right, yeah, and we had a preview go up that Ryan McCaffrey did for IGN recently. So it's real, it's playable, it's an actual thing that exists, so hopefully we have it soon.
Well, speaking of things that aren't real, Jay wants to know about Destiny 2, which seems unlikely because Bungie has kind of gone on record as stating they're going to talk about a DLC before the conference, the Sony conference. But we would assume that we'll see some kind of Destiny content at the Sony conference. Your thoughts?
Right, so they just named the new DLC. It's Rise of Iron. And I'm
poetic.
It's very poetic and highly unscientific as well. But I think it's a good idea that they can just keep growing that platform. Right now, you're really doubling down on the people that are really into it forever, and they're the dedicated kind of audience that'll keep playing it forever. I don't know if it's enough at this point to get someone like me, who's sort of a lapsed Destiny player, to jump back in again. But that's how you do it. I think putting a 2 at the end of it is not enough at this point.
And we were having a conversation earlier, and you made a very good point, which is talking about, like, there will never be a World of Warcraft 2
right.
or an Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
And you feel the same about Destiny. That's at least your prerogative. And I kind of agree, because it is that online persistent multiplayer universe,
yeah,
right?
it's like Pizza 2, you know?
I
You got
would
it
go
right,
for
just
Pizza
keep
2.
it going.
Pizza 2, pocket pizzas. Look for it this summer. Let's talk about the Final Fantasy HD remaster, which El Chroma tweeted actually before, in a Nostradamus move, tweeted this before it was announced. But yeah, we'll probably see that.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be a big year for Final Fantasy in general. I think a big few years. Actually, it's kind of always been about Final Fantasy in some way. There's just always some release. But I think it's really cool that we're going to see that. We'll also probably get news on the Final Fantasy VII remake and everything else those guys are working on. So yeah, good time to be alive if you're a Final Fantasy fan.
One Shot, One Kill, X83 wants to know about God of War 4 and Twisted Metal sequel or reboot. What do you think?
So God of War 4, I have a feeling will for sure be there. I don't think Twisted Metal is going to happen anytime soon. I think with David Jaffe, we're working on Drawn to Death. He's sort of removed from that. Now it's possible to make a Twisted Metal game without his input. Someone else can come in and be like, you know, make the ice cream truck with a flaming clown head on top of it, and he has to shoot, I don't know, a guy that works at a circus and 5 murderers inside of a motorcycle.
Right.
It's, you know, those games make themselves really. It's so easy. But God of War 4 for sure. If you want something visceral and violent and over the top, you're gonna get it there. And I can't wait to see how beautiful that is. We've kind of known about God of War 4 for a little while, or at least the next installment in the God of War franchise, however they want to call it. Which I'm sure that's what they'll say. But yeah, whether or not it's numbered, I have a feeling there will be a brand new PS4 God of War at E3.
Nice. So jumping back to Twisted Metal, because it serves the needs of my segue, I would love to see a car game in VR from PlayStation. So let's talk about PSVR.
Sure.
That will probably be shown in some capacity, along with the fabled PS4.5, which I think a lot of people know is a thing, PS Neo, PS4K, what have you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of fascinating that they're pushing for VR so hard, but also that the hardware is kind of not entirely up to snuff. I mean, it is, but if you put it next to something like the Oculus, it's just kind of pales in comparison. The PS4.5 4K Neo HD Remix Ultimate Deluxe 2 Moons of 5 Suns could work out in favor of everything here, but that's going to be a very divisive conversation to have. You can't just go out on stage and say, hey, there's a new PlayStation. Because last year they said, hey, go buy the PS4. So there's going to be some people burned. There's going to be people who buy everything that they put out. Me, on the flip side, I'm getting a PSVR. I pre-ordered one, so I have a feeling that's going to dominate a big portion of the conversation at E3.
So you'd imagine that those sentiments are echoed in the Xbox world as well, because if Sony announces something, I think Xbox is on the line to do that too, but also you're kind of condemning all the people who've already gone in on an Xbox One. Me, as somebody who owns a high-powered PC, I'm just sitting back and watching this with an amazing amount of enjoyment.
You made your decision years ago. Now you just need to buy new graphics cards every few years.
It's like working on a car. It's awesome. So Dakota wants to know about, this is a very optimistic tweet, but hopefully a new Resistance title. It's a long shot, but it's possible. Do you agree?
Yeah, I would love one. I think Resistance is an interesting franchise because it was sort of released around the same time where they were looking for a first-person shooter experience that was exclusive to PlayStation. Halo was one of the biggest things in the world. People were playing FPS games on PC. Nowadays, they have less to worry about in that department because they've aligned so well with stuff like Call of Duty and third parties working on first-person shooters. The last time we saw an exclusive first-person shooter was really Killzone. So it'd be nice to see another Resistance game, but I think they're less inclined to lean on it because they can just lock up some deal where there's new DLC exclusive for the next Call of Duty game.
Sure.
And kind of hang back. That's been their big thing this generation, is sort of like, well, we don't have all the best first-party stuff in the world, or we do, but we're taking our sweet time with it.
Right.
So let's push the third-party guys front and center and make ourselves look good.
Right. Yeah, temporary exclusivity is what it seems to be all about.
Yeah.
So the final thing I want to talk about is Horizon Zero Dawn, probably not coming until 2017 or maybe later, but we just saw a trailer for it, and it looks awesome. It's like this primal dinosaur, but everything's mechanical, kind of post-apocalyptic. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, it's for sure delayed until February, which is not this year since we already had one of those. So that sucks. But no, I was really excited about this game. I love the sort of like open world versus Dinobot thing. The sort of mixing of the kind of like wooden archaic aesthetic combined with Transformers that you have to shoot in the stomach and collect loot. There's RPG elements, like it's just really gorgeous and really cool, and we're not playing it anytime soon, so I think it'll be playable at E3. That's my guess. Is that at the very least, to hold people over until February, there'll be something that we can come back and report on. Or maybe if we're really, really lucky, they'll go, hey, there's Best Buy demos you can go play today. Companies are kind of cool like that every now and then when it comes to E3. They get a little generous, so hopefully we can hope for the best, because February is a very, very, very long time away.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much for your insight. But if you, the audience, have a question that we did not answer about E3, tweet at IGN with the hashtag IGN Access, and we'll do our very best to answer it. For all things PlayStation, you're already in the right spot, IGN.